巴菲特亲口承认我搞砸了，错过谷歌却重仓亚马逊，价值投资变了吗？听完他的解释，你可能发现我们都误解了价值2个字。当伯克希尔买入亚马逊，很多老股东慌了，牛市高位买科技股，这不违背别人贪婪我恐惧吗？巴菲特的回答干脆利落，价值投资从来不等于低市盈率或低市净率。他说，无论是7折买银行，还是高倍 PE 买亚马逊，计算逻辑都一样，你现在掏钱，未来能拿回多少，确定性多高，要等多久。这就像伊索寓言，一鸟在手，到底值树林里的几只鸟。真正的价值是判断未来现金流的折现，而不是刻舟求剑看账面数字。负责亚马逊的同事和他当年捡烟蒂时一样，都是价值投资者。但巴菲特也罕见认错，他承认错过了谷歌。明明盖克保险通过谷歌广告花10美元一次点击，边际成本近乎为零，效果惊人，他们却做着吮拇指，无动于衷。他自嘲羞愧，并把买入苹果视为赎罪。所以伯克希尔的投资哲学从未动摇，只是执行者更年轻，标的更广。正如芒格所说，所有投资都是价值投资。如果你还在用旧尺子量新世界，可能错过的就不只是谷歌了。
This question is from Ken Scarbeck in Indianapolis. He says, with the full understanding that Warren had no input on the Amazon purchase and that relative to Berkshire, it's likely a small stake, the investment still caught me off guard. I'm wondering if I should begin to think differently about Berkshire looking out, say, 20 years. Might we be seeing a shift in investment philosophy away from value investing principles that the current management has practiced for 70 years? Amazon is a great company, yet it would seem its heady shares 10 years into a bull market appear to conflict with being fearful when others are greedy. Considering this and other recent investments like StoneCo, should we be preparing for a change in the price versus value decisions that built Berkshire?
Yeah, it's interesting that the term value investing came up, because I can assure you that both managers and one of them bought some Amazon stock in the last quarter, which will get reported in another week or 10 days. He is a value investor. The idea that value is somehow connected to book value or low price earnings ratios or anything, as Charlie has said, all investing is value investing. I mean, you're putting out some money now to get more later on, and you're making a calculation as to the probabilities of getting that money and when you'll get it and what interest rates will be in between, and all the same calculation goes into it, whether you're buying some bank at 70% of book value or you're buying Amazon at some very high multiple of reported earnings. Amazon, the people making the decision on Amazon are absolutely much value investors, as I was when I was looking around for all these things selling below working capital years ago. So that has not changed. The two people that, one of whom made the investment in Amazon, they are looking at many hundreds of securities, and they can look at more than I can because they're managing less money, and their universe, possible universe, is greater. But they are looking for things that they feel they understand what will be developed by that business between now and Judgment Day in cash. And it's not sales. Current sales can make some difference. Current profit margins can make some difference. Tangible assets, excess cash, excess debt, all of those things go into making a calculation as to whether they should buy A versus B versus C. And they are absolutely following value principles. They don't necessarily agree with each other or agree with me, but they are very smart. They are totally committed to Berkshire, and they're very good human beings on top of it. So I don't second guess them on anything. Charlie doesn't second guess me on. In 60 years, he's never second guessed me on an investment. And the considerations are identical when you buy Amazon versus some, say, bank stock that looks cheap statistically against book value or earnings or something of the sort. In the end, it all goes back to Aesop. who in 600 BC said, that a bird in the hand is worth two in the bush. And when we buy Amazon, we try and figure out whether, or the fellow that bought it tries to figure out whether there's 3 or 4 or 5 in the bush, and how long it'll take to get to the bush, how certain he is that he's going to get to the bush, and then who else is going to come and try and take the bush away, and all of that sort of thing. And we do the same thing, and it really, despite a lot of equations you'll learn in business school, the basic equation is that of Aesop, and your success in investing depends on how well you were able to figure out how certain that bush is, how far away it is, and what the worst case is, instead of two birds being there, only one being there, and the possibilities of 4 or 5 or 10 or 20 being there. And that will guide me, that will guide my successors in investment management at Berkshire, and I think they'll be right more often than they're wrong. Charlie?
Well, Warren and I are a little older than some people, and
Damn near everybody.
and we're not the most flexible, probably, in the whole world. And of course, if something as extreme as this internet development happens, and you don't catch it, why, other people are going to blow by you. And I don't mind not having caught Amazon early. The guy is kind of a miracle worker. It's very peculiar. I give myself a pass on that. But I feel like a horse's ass for not identifying Google better. I think Warren feels the same way.
Yeah.
We screwed up.
He's saying we blew it. And we did have some insights into that because we were using them at GEICO, and we were seeing the results produced, and we saw that we were paying $10 a click or whatever it might have been for something that had a marginal cost to them of exactly zero, and we saw it was working for us. So
we can see in our own operations how well that Google advertising was working, and we just sat there sucking our thumbs.
Right.
So we're ashamed. We atone. We're trying to atone. Maybe Apple was atonement.
When he says sucking our thumbs, I'm just glad he didn't use some other example.